All right. Good evening. This is Dark Knight by B casting this Division D matchup between Habitual Line Steppers and Cats on my keyboard. Looks like we're going to the lobby just to get you caught up on the maps and bans such. It's our maps screen. We did have Tomb of the Spider Queen and Infernal Shrines being banned out by Habitual Line Steppers. And then Braxis Holdout and Dragonshire being banned out by Cats on my keyboard. Let me update the map pick. Being chosen by Habitual Line Steppers. Oh, I have my Hoku logo thingy. Didn't turn off. Hoku's not here. There you go. All right. It's like we have most people in here now, so we should be getting started in a bit. This is the second matchup, or second time they meet, I should say. Division D is a double round robin, and so the first meeting between Cats and Habitual Line Steppers. Habitual Line Steppers won 2-1. And so, very much a 3-game series. Always happy to have those. They actually did go to All-Track Pass the first time as well. Habitual Line Steppers won that one. Game 2 was on Towers. Cats won that one, and then Old Sky of Foundry was the last one. And Habitual Line Steppers took it and won the series. Alright, it looks like we're getting started, moving into our draft for game number 1. Look at the notes from that one game on All-Track. Looks like Cats spanned out Samaru and Sylvanas. Vigil did bunk out ban Junkrat and Vala, and right away we do see a slightly different. Oh yeah, they did. So that makes sense. I was like, they paid attention to their last match. Cats. Well, actually, Cats played Chromie, and they banned it out. Interesting. We do see Anduin. And Habitual Line Steppers picked Anduin, and this time they're banning it. They were seeing different strategies. Habitual Line Steppers did play a noob during that first matchup, and not surprisingly, you see a ban. You missed out, Hoku. I had your caster frame logo still in one of the screens.
I stand ready.
That's what we do see a Vala pick from the side of Cats. And that means that Samurai was open. Last time it was banned, and this time it goes through. HLS snap it up real quickly, as well as a foul stat. Good to see the Ming being picked up as well with the Hako, so counter global. So they both teams have one global. We do see the Brightwing ban to negate a potential second global for Cats. And a Maiev ban. Interesting. Yeah, didn't play that last time, but likely a target ban. Warm, thank you for the follow. We do see a Greymane and a Tyrande go through. Surprisingly, didn't pick up their tank yet. Unless we're going tank Samurai. Do you see Oreo going through? Surprisingly made it until after the ban. This is the second ban phase. And a Tyrael. Okay. Likely going to be a Judgment Tyrael, I imagine. Habitual lines and Slipper still needing a tank. We do see the Muradin go through. Very tanky tank. That's good. And with that, we have our lineups. I think both teams have interesting. I do like the Tyrael pick here. Looks like HLS will be trying to kind of push, get value anywhere else, and then with that, try to get the objective. But I'll see you shortly for game number 1.
Are you serious? That high five was just OP!
All right, welcome back. We have our game 1 of HLS versus Cats. Introducing the blue team, we have Vern on the Muradin. No more on the Greymane. Turtwig on the Tyrande. Peldor on the Samurai. And Boomer APM on the Falstad. On the side of Cats, we have Ghost on the Vala. Koala on the Li Ming. PJ Red on the Tyrael. Apple on the healer, blinking out name, Oriole, and IT Cowboy on the Dahaka. We do see Dahaka right away. Split top. I know, Hoku. I saw it earlier and I turned it off. I thought I cleaned it up for most of the thingies, but I guess I didn't. I just turned it off. Is it on the draft screen? Are you sure? Yeah. You might... I don't know. I see it on my end and I turned it off. So thanks. Yeah, I'm doing you a favor. Artanis gets some view time. Alright, let's see. We have both teams now going up to their camps. Let's take a look at their level 1s. The Viciousness. Lunar Blaze. We do have Gambit from the Vala. And we're seeing the tank build. The actual tank build, not the bruiser build. You kind of see both. Makes sense though. As expected, we did have Samaru push in one lane, Falset in the other. With the Hawk, I do like that, so they can both global at the same time. Yeah, let's go Clown Fiesta. The Clown Fiesta never ends. Especially in Storm League. Do you see Samaru get some of that circle bottom? It looks like Cat's got a little bit more value from their camp. Surprise Vala, it's not with the Samaru. You get some easy stacks on a Samaru. Something you do have to be mindful of as the Sam. Oh. We do see Leeming. Looks like they're gonna go E-build potentially. Camp's about to be up for both teams. Do like the Cats went right away to make sure they get it on cooldown. If HLS a little bit behind. But sometimes it's better to have your camp be the second one capped, because then you can maybe push with it after you clear theirs. You can make the case for both. Nice thing about Samaru is that you can very much cap this on your own. Although you gotta be careful about that Leeming. You do see both globals still. At top. We do see Tyrael go, yeah, so increase movement speed and attack speed for already powerful hero in Vala, so that's going to help out. We see the engage. Nice whip by the Oriole. So again, they actually are going to get a little bit more value with that push. They move down to try to cap, but nice owl. And Hawk and Felset are still up here. So it looks like both teams are just looking to get 10. It's interesting because sometimes you have matches where, you know, it's capped immediately, and this one's very much, we see a slower pace. Cats right away again get on their camp. HLS does not. Grammy does head over. I think if you're Samurai, you definitely want to be kind of harassing this a little bit more so that at least it forces cats to kind of respond. Then they do respond like this, and oh, Samru might be, yep, not might be, will be going down, and that's first blood, right? Is that correct? Yeah. Oh no, it's not. We're here at 2-0. So we do see Terrio going tank build, so I imagine this is not going to be Judgment. In the meantime, they're able to cap the objective. Don't think HLS will be able to stop it, at least for the time being. The first objective will be going to the side of cats. We haven't seen either. Uh-oh. They're setting up a little gank squad. I think they were seen. Very good job on the Falstad being at least either. I think you might have seen them. That one vision from the minions probably gave it away. Especially when you don't see the opposing team, you always want to assume they're in a bush next to you. It's always better to assume they're in that bush than to assume they're not. You see mid was clear, then bottom. We do have the 10s online for both. We did see grow for the throat from Greymane. Avatar, Starfall, Blade Storm, and Mighty Gust from the side of Cats. We do have Disintegrate, Rain of Vengeance, Crystal Aegis, Sanctification, and Isolation. So yeah, I figured it was going to be full tank material. You do see them trying to get some push bottom. Cats are responding to it. Both teams getting on their camp again. Dahaka's doing a pretty good job of getting some soak up here. You see Falstad responding to it. Very good part on the Dahaka. Oh, now we do see a dig. Looks like they went bot. Okay. I thought it was going to be an invade or something, but I guess just catching that soak. Nice tongue by at the Haka, but able to clone out. We do see, again, very good job by Cats being able to clear out that camp and then get theirs onto the wall. One of the challenges, at least for Greymane, is putting pressure. They are going to get some value. We see Avatar being used up. We have Falstad comes in, gets the Gust. We do see Sanctification being used. Greymane a little bit of bad position. Ariel able to sustain them under the fort for the time being. Greymane getting low, able to step away. We do see a triple stun. Very nice job by the Tyrande. I thought for a second they were going to be getting out, but that triple stun was able to help secure 3 of them, and right away do see HLS go down. Dahaka shows that, but there's not much Dahaka can do. And no, Dahaka in a bad situation now. Was able to delay. Isolation misses. And will be going down, so now we have a bit of a stagger. They still have technically the ability to contest. If you go in, you have Sanctification, you don't. Okay. That's still not a fight you can... Yeah, they were thinking about it, but it was going to be a little bit too late. In the meantime, we do have Samru doing Samru things. Get some value mid. We do have a huge wave up here. That should be soaked. But we do see Samru actually just go straight to the objective, which is not bad. HLS does give a bit of support to this boss, but not much they can do. They do have to be careful though. If Dahaka comes back up and has dig, this could be a very nice counter engage for Cats, but they're able to secure the bottom fort. And then with that walk away, Samurai wasn't able to... Oh yeah, that was, I guess, being defended by Dahaka. Wasn't able to cap, but we do have a very big wave now. With that, Cats recognize HLS is either going back to clear, and now they can push on to the bottom fort, at least to balance it out with their own. We do have the cap being secured. Dahaka trying their best, but a little bit difficult with 4. We do have a nice stun, but not much of a follow-up. Dahaka's trying. Oh, nice positioning by the Murden. Dahaka was able to dig out. We now see, though, that they are trying to get in. This is a 16-15 fight. Gus immediately comes out. We do have a tongue on the Tyrande. Nice sanctification. Murden goes in, gets Oriole, but now in a little bit of a isolation themselves. Do have the tongue land. Nice whip by the Oriole, but no one goes down, surprisingly. They were able to cap the point, at least for the time being. HLS, I should say, Cats now also have their 16s online, so that actually ended up being worth it. Often you would probably see teams not even try to contest that, especially when it's a 16-15 advantage for one team, because it could go bad real quickly. But here's an example of when it worked. Do see Samurai trying to get some push bottom. With this, it likely means that Cats will be able to secure. Oh, there was an interrupt right there. Very good job. Another very good interrupt. I was gonna say, they don't have great tools to stop besides Tyrande. Instead, we do see an engage. Murder gets whipped back. Avatar is popped. The sun does not land, but the Tyrande sun does. We do see the teams in a little bit of a split position. They're going back to try to cap the point again. Tyrande doesn't use the interrupt. They do get the point. Samuru's trying to put some pressure on the back line. And Tyrael's a little bit out of a position. Now at a point where, able to get out, at least for the time being. 500 HP, never a problem. Now Dahaka's in trouble. We do see the tongue miss. Very good sanctification. We'll save the Dahaka for the time being. Some very good showing by both teams as far as these very sustaining long fights. This is only the second objective, and we're almost going to be at level 20. I don't think I've ever seen that where the second objective wasn't capped by level 20. HLS has only 15 seconds more, so it's probably not likely going to happen because see both teams now move to their camps. Both globals doing global things and soaking. Samurai trying to get some pressure. Very good clone to stop some of that damage. Again here, if you're Samurai, you can probably just try to either push it. Taka probably still has her dig, so you do want to be mindful of that. Ooh, yeah, so Samurai, when you're doing your Blade Storm, you're at your weakest as far as being susceptible to damage. And focus, we do Dahaka gets some value in this bottom lane. Both teams now, or at least they're gonna get the cap probably. And about 25 seconds left still. Murden gets interrupted as he's trying to leap away. Greymane does go down and secure the kill on the Mean, but might pay the price of it for it. No, actually, he was able to be able to get a nice double stun again from the Tyrande. But it looks like they're not going to be able to stop or cap this. So it should be going to the side of Cats. So this would be now the second objective. It happened right at level 20, actually, 4. So it did happen at level 20. Interesting. Just as it happened. I think both teams have been really patient. We do have Hunter's Blunderbuss, Rewind, Shooting Star, Wind Strider, and Wind Tunnel. At this point, though, especially with the top keep, I imagine that's gonna be going down. We do have 20s online as well. Talrosh's Elements, Farfight Clover, Shield of Hope, Holy Arena, and Apex Predator. So Dahaka opting to get that global more often. The Cavalry is going to be pushing and securing that top. Oh, no, actually not. I spoke too soon. I mean, it's pretty much dead. Has like what? 750. Yeah. We do see now the Samurai trying to provide some harassment, pressure. They also get the bottom, so right away we have 2 of the armor plates for the core being removed. Makes it a lot more feasible to end. Even with only 1 armor removed, it can be challenging. Probably not with the Vala. You see Murden slightly in danger, able to leap away. And now with that level 20 Vala, we do see a very good Gus isolating the team. Vala away from the team for the time being, but able to get back. Vala is just free casting. You got to turn. They're able to get the kill on the Oreo, but does pay the price as well. Greymane, oh, very good identification. Samru not able to get the kill on the Ball, and Tyrande goes down, and with 3 members, about 50 seconds, this can be dangerous. They do have Vala still, no healer, so that makes it a little bit more challenging. I imagine Cats are going to opt just to try to... Ooh! Yeah, now with that, this likely is a situation that with the Tyrael, you should get enough sustain. 3 are down. I mean, you don't have to be on top of the boss to get cleaved. But it doesn't matter. It looks like it's going to be going down. And we're going to have game number 1. Going to the side of Cats. GG. So, very much in a flipping of what happened in their first matchup, their first meeting, I should say, where HLS went to Altrac Pass and they won. This time, actually, Cats come out victorious. We'll take a look at the stats while we wait for our next map. Overall, I think both teams did really good job. It was very slow paced. We only had 2 objectives completed. But actually for the most part, HLS did have slight or the actual XP lead. Kill count pretty low, 78. So both teams showing some pretty good discipline. Although we did see Vala practically doubling every other DPS, not surprising, especially at level 20. That Farfight Clover just makes it very difficult to try to get. You still see the oh, okay, yeah. I added it to every single screen, Hoku, so it's gonna show up. There you go. This is just like an Easter egg hunt for you now. You have to look for the logo. Your logo, I should say. So very good damage output by the Vala, not surprisingly. Healing, Tyrande actually did a pretty good job of trying to keep up. There was some very good stuns. Take Taking a look at the talents. And very much there was some very good sanctifications. I questioned if it was going to be either Judgment or Synced, and Synced worked out very well, especially for that Vala, right? Having that attack speed was very valuable. It seemed like HLS had a difficult time trying to. There was like 2 fights where practically no one died, and there was some very long sustaining fights. So again, good part on both teams, but eventually I think at the end a couple kills went through, able to get the objective, and then able to ride that until the end. And at the end it was kind of you have a level 20 Vala, and that's pretty much it. That's all you gotta say. Okay, let me update our details here. Select the outcome, cats. Alright, let's see. Move over to our map selection as we wait for the next map. Need to update the score. There you go. And so, like I said, this is their second meeting of the 2 round robin style for Division D. First time around, HLS did win on All Track Pass. So we'll be waiting to see what they're going to be going for next. I imagine a similar, maybe, I think last time Cats took Towers, I believe, their first meeting. Yeah, it was, so that might be a good map for Cats to go to. In the meantime as well, let's go through to my corner of stats. Hopefully it works out how I wanted it to be. Stats of the Storm. Pulled up info on the teams. I think for the most part, we look at who has first pick, win rate, first pick. Let's see. There's only one team that has 100% win rate. There's only 2 games left. Some of these stats of the Storm has been weird. This, for some reason, I think the team lineup is off. Let's look at the heroes trend. I'm always interested in seeing what is the most popular. So we can see as far as popularity, and not surprisingly, Ando and Johanna Stukov are the most popular. Looks like we have our next lobby up. We'll be going to Cursed. And it looks like HLS went with map pick. We're going to be going to Cursed. Alright, so we're going to another pretty big map. I don't think they've played this one before. Certain maps. Let's see, what are the stats as far as the maps and when they're picked? In Division... Oh, Praxis is the least played in Division D. It's interesting. Usually it's like Sky Temple. with that, we're in our lobby. Everybody's in, and we're going to be moving on to our draft for game number 2. I imagine some of the same heroes are going to be selected and or banned. I think both teams actually did a pretty good job on sort of soaking, etc., using their globals when needed. But I imagine a Vala ban might be coming out. That wasn't super oppressive early, but that, yeah, late game, level 20 Vala was a little bit oppressive. Although here, as usual, you see prio on global heroes. Heroes that can help stall objective, or the tributes I should say, are very good. Heroes that can slow down, so that if your team gets cursed, you can wave clear, you know, Rag. Rag always makes this map go to like 30 minutes. So, or Asmodan, something like that. Okay, so far we do see the Anduin ban come out again, Maya again. I'm a bit quiet. Maybe it's because I moved away from my mic. I'm also watching a football game at the same time in the background. So maybe... Looks like my mic level should be fine. I just have to make sure I when I'm looking at my television, to not turn away from it. We did see a Malthael ban. Interesting. Are they gonna Cho'Gall? Maiev and Malthael. Is this a Cho'Gall incoming? My Cho'Gall senses are tingling. So yeah, that's a very good offlaner to select with the Cho'Gall. Yeah, you typically don't see the offlaner come out. This, especially Sonya. And we do see HLS go again with that Valstad Samru combo. Alright, thank you for letting me know. I guess I think it's just like I need to move my mic a little bit closer. I know that there was some times where my mic was too loud. Yeah, I think I was just, you know, looking away at my television. I won't do that anymore. Usually I keep the mic right next to me because sometimes I mute it with the hardware button, and it flashes when it's muted, so that way I can see it in my line of eyesight if it's muted, because I've had situations where I mute it and then I forgot to unmute it. But yeah, the stream, I think the stream quality definitely goes up when I'm muted, so it's not a bad thing necessarily. We do see a Mephisto ban. Okay, we do Lucio and Murd, and that's still Cho'Gallish possible, depending on what this ban comes through. Although typically you don't see a tank with a Cho'Gall. Cho'Gall would be, quote, the tank. And a Brightwing, okay. Because like Malthael is like the one that throws me off. We do see pretty much the same team from the side of HLS, except that we have a Garrosh this time. Come on, do it. Cho'Gall. not Cho'Gall, but a triple lineup. So that makes sense why the Maltail was banned, but I would think like Tychus would be more of a concern. Scope, nope, no healer, go with Tychus. They have a very beefy lineup. And no ranged. Wait, there's 4. Wait, that's 4. I just saw that right now. Okay, so wow, a 4 bruiser tank combo. I guess Hogger could be built in a way that kind of does range damage. Okay, but I mean they're gonna have so one person's gonna be in each lane forever. It's a very beefy lineup. Very interesting. We'll move on to our game number 2 in a bit. Actually, never mind. Didn't have time for my intermission video. Last time it took forever, and this time it was super fast. That's fine. You get to spend more time together. We do have... This time I'll do cats. Introduction for cats. We have Koala on the Sonya, Ghost on the Hogger, Apple on the Lucio, PJ Red on the Muradin, and IT Cowboy on the Blaze. On the side of Habitual Line Steppers, Pelder on the Samaru, No More Heroes on the Greymane, Turtwig on the Malfurion, Burn on the Garrosh, and Boomer APM on the Falstad. So, like I said, yeah, there's no point even going mid. I would just go to your lane. See, and that's the thing, Sonya's a really good kind of counter to Samru, so I'm thinking maybe that's what they're thinking. Sonya makes it a little bit rough for Samru to get going, being able to heal. So like I mentioned, we do see both teams kind of just being split right away. Oh, and Samru's in a little bit of trouble, able to swap out. Good job by Peldar there. So if you're... It's going to be hard when they're together, so... Very much, if you're HLS, you want to probably take advantage of rotations and try to get picks. I mean, and ultimately you do have a pick comp, right? You have a Garrosh with the Greymane. It's hard to pick 4 very beefy bodies. Lucio is obviously your focus whenever possible. They could have gone Uther and just had like this super beefy lineup that just won't die. We do have an invade from the side of... Very good job not showing. They probably recognize that it's being done now. They all go in and there's 4. Oh my god. Yeah. Very good engage there by the... Yeah, if you were HLS, you gotta be mindful of... There's camps out. We don't see them anywhere. They're probably gonna be somewhere near us. Val's able to get a kill on that. Oh no, and then at the same time, Samru does go down. So again, very interesting comp. So far, showing success. We're about half a level ahead. Sonya pushing bottom with that camp. Likely gonna get some pretty good value. We do already see 2 of the towers fall below half health and likely to be gone. First objective is neutral top. Would have liked seeing Falstad being on the other side, and are they baiting? They're like, hey, come here and hit me. But Falsa does not take the bait with most of the team bot. Decides to just stay behind the gate, which is a safe place to be for the most part. You leave for one match, Lime, and we get a 3 bruiser, 1 tank comp. No ranged. That's... I guess it makes it work, though. I guess Blaze has a little bit of range, right? Hogger. Wait, oh, I didn't even go over the talents. I'm sorry. I was so amazed by the quadruple. We have everything looks about the same. Yeah, this is where, like, if you're Samru, going the armor shred is probably better, especially with a very beefy front lineup. We do see next objective being on the side of HLS, but with about under a level behind, might be rough. Cats have been really good about their positioning, getting in spots where it's not always predictable. And so they've been pretty good about that, at least in these last couple matches. Oh, no one's home. They can't be. They wouldn't be in that U. Oh, we do see the engage on the Malfurion, able to be thrown out by Garrosh. The sleep. And Lucio gonna get down. Samuro able to secure. And that's exactly what you want to do for your HLS. You're the Achilles heel of this team for Cat is Lucio. And Hogger does go down, so surprisingly, oh yeah, Blaze was not there. Okay, makes sense. Good idea of being here and then engaging on that Malfurion, but the Garrosh able to toss it out. Right away, they move to get their camp. We just see Sonya go slam. Like your typical. Sometimes like in Samurai, Sonya's go E-build, especially at 4. Because then you just keep on spinning, and you always have it available. And oh no, Malfurion goes down, and so does Greymane, and that Sonya distraction was enough to get 2 of the members down. Oh, and Sonya now is like, okay, we have 10s now. Wait, what? Yeah, unfortunate sequence for we do see the Sonya getting low. Do they have 10s? They have leap. They might leap away. Oh no, they don't. But it is Avatar, leap, Artipult, high 5, and we're waiting on the Blaze. They were also able to secure their own. So, what likely was a good call to get that camp. I think trying to kind of focus on that Sonya too much. Also, Lucio wasn't there. Good combo by Hogger and able to secure the kill on the Garrosh.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
So far, I think it's been, yeah, 4 to 6 when it comes to kills. And again, setting up a bush gank. Yeah, if you're HLS, you need to be mindful that they're going to be in every bush. Samurai trying to do their best to keep the team within range. Oh, no, that was top. Okay. I was like, was that the point? They do get the invade and the bruiser camp, but Blaze pays for it. And that's exactly what you want to do if you're HLS. You want to try to get those ISO kills. We see Samu trying to dismount members of Cats, and that will be the second. So we do actually have a 2-2, but Samu now in a very bad spot, able to clone away at least for the time being. Now they might try to chase that Samu, and don't. Like, yeah, good. Like, never waste your time chasing a Samuro. Oh, the leap. If that lands, that's probably a dead Samuro. Lucio's another hero that's pretty good at chasing down Samuro. I know from personal experience. It's like Lucio, Genji. Those heroes, it's a little bit more difficult to outrun. Yeah, they left on the boss. That was, I think they thought the clone, because oh, another taunt on that Blaze, and likely will be going down. Okay, so Blaze has been now picked on a couple times, and early on it's not as bad, but as death timers increase, that's something you want to avoid. So if you're HLS, you're level 13, now it's 13, but you want to get on that right away. You want to make sure you get the Lucio not able to get. Sonya's very low, able to spin to get some healing. The Gus comes out to isolate them. A very good job. However, now they're kind of in this awkward position of. Oh, we have the leap on the Garrosh, interestingly, and then oh no, and again, Blaze is not even here yet. I think that Gust may have been maybe useful, because they weren't able to secure the kill on the Sonya or the Lucio, which is what you want to do. And so with that, they're able to get their third tribute and curse on the side, favoring cats. Right away, they're gonna likely get some value. Mid, bot. Ooh. Another. Ooh. Was able to leap, get tossed back again. Does go down. Good stun by the Blaze. Blaze getting low, trying to get away, does go down. And so does Murden. We have Hogger spinning away, but ends in not ideal. Uses Hortipole to try to get away, but should be going down. We do have mid go down. It's gonna be taking some structure damage. A catapult. That's not. Oof. I know Falstad was trying to save top key, but you also don't want to give away free percentages mid. Losing about almost 20% of your core, not ideal. Right away, the team does go and try to get their bottom boss. Cats recognize this. Yeah, Blaze win combustion. It makes sense. I mean, they have a very beefy team, and they need more damage, so it makes sense. Still think maybe Bunker's better. But that extra damage is useful. They're able to secure the bottom fort, and boss will be marching to the bottom keep for against cats, but they should be able to clear this out relatively. Well, actually, I guess they have okay. They have bruisers who can clean on. Oh, Samuro, kind of in a bad spot. This is where maybe a little too ambitious. Oh, the stun does not land. Neither does the. This is where having Clone Master is useful, because you can send your clones in different directions, and it's not as you're not as predictable. But I mean, it looks like Samuro will be going down. I just said earlier, right? Don't chase Samuro, but again, an example of when it works. Don't chase Samuro until it actually works, and then you can say, "See, it does work to chase Samuro." That was also just a very bad position for Samuro. As far as having a Lucio, they have heroes that could chase you down. Again, Cat's being very good and patient, trying to set up these ganks and these engages on the bushes, but with the Samurai down. It looks like they're going to be giving up this tribute. That's fine. They have to clear lanes. If you're fast at though, you got to be careful. You don't see the opposing team. I think Faust has been pretty good about that. We do see them go to that mid bush again. Oh, that would have been a nice stun, but Garrus was just out of range of the knockback. Sonya is not with the team, is doing their camp, and Blaze should have been seen top. So this is where, again, if you are HLS, you gotta get those picks. When it's a 5v5, it's very difficult. Even when it's 4v5, it has been very difficult for HLS to get a kill. And now you see that the team is split. Cats looks like they're trying to set up again their rotation. Garash throws the Sonya away, but you don't want to group up. You don't have to die for this. It's only gonna be the second tribute. You see Sonya sharking around looking for a potential leap target. We do have the Garrosh. Throw in the Muradin. There's a very nice leap hortipult combo there, and exactly if you're HLS, you don't want to fight in choke points. Obviously in Curse Hollow it's kind of difficult. We have kind of a fight all over the place. We do see 4 members of HLS go down, and with that in a camp mid, it looks like they're going to be going towards core. GG's has been called out, and yeah, very likely with 20 seconds on the closest timer. Even though these are bruisers and they can barely tickle the core, they do so together along with the camps and such. And GG, game number 2 going to, and domination going to the side of Cats on my keyboard. All right, we'll take a look at the stats a bit before, see if I can get a member of Cats to join us for an interview. Update the information. Let's see. Maybe it's easier to just do it in Discord. Division D channel. And so very much in a very interesting comp from the side of Cats. I'll be asking them about that in a bit. All right, let's see if we get one of them to join us. Let's take a look at the map. It went out. Okay, real quickly, stats. Oh, actually, we did have someone join us. All right, we're joined here by Ghost. All right.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? And congrats on your 2-0 victory. How's the team feeling?
Pretty good. This is a good game, so we're in a pretty good spot right now. Yeah.
Yeah, very much getting a revenge on the earlier loss, right, in the season. And so that's actually very interesting, right? The idea is that you have to play a team twice. So have you been in a double round robin before in HOTS and NGS?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we've done it a couple times across the history.
All right. And so when you have that kind of setup, how do you approach the second match when you're gonna, depending on, obviously if you won, if you're like, okay, we'll just do the same thing. But obviously if you did lose, how do you approach that kind of the idea you have to play a team again? And it's obviously true for the rest of the teams, correct?
Yeah, well, this one's unique because myself and Apple, we actually weren't here week one, so now and we're kind of like me, Apple, Koala, IT, Lime, PJ. We're like the starting five for this season. So just us being our starting five. Well, actually, Koala replaced Limebus for today. But anyways, long story short, we had the majority of our main roster on for tonight. So that's how we felt. We would do a lot better. This week versus the first week.
Mm-hmm.
But we got a game coming up. We lost against Cosmo, so that question really applies to them, and we'll see. We got a few weeks to kind of plan it out, but they beat us the first time around, so with our main roster, so we're gonna have to strategize to get that win back.
Yeah, and so so you saying that pretty much your roster shifted a little bit. So always useful when
Yeah.
you have your main team. So kind of very strong showing. Going to game number one, very much it seemed like that was the map. You played the first time around, so it seems like you had a strategy of kind of as far as both teams pretty much were just like we're just gonna soak until 20 kind of thing. And so is that how you planned it to be? Where we were just gonna have slow fights, we're gonna get our camp on cooldown, we'll try to get objective, but we're not gonna we're gonna focus more on soaking.
Yeah, exactly. With that team comp, if they wanted to get the 20s, that's exactly what we wanted to do. So as long as our camp was coming off cooldowns, we were able to get that pressure for the first objective just with a couple solo kills. I know Dahaka got a good solo kill up top against the Falstad, and that kind of gave us a little edge. So when it did open up, we put the pressure on them. But yeah, just with Li Ming stalling point, Bala getting the 20, very good team comp to kind of just keep things casual for as long as possible. But when we saw opportunities and we could flip the script, we did.
Yeah, and so when you were going into this match, right? You saw it was all track pass. You already obviously had a mind for what you were trying to do. Were there any bans or picks that surprised you on their end?
Yeah, I mean they like banning the Mephisto kind of that's like a good scout. Like we're really comfortable with that. But we can flex between several comps, so we we saw their bans and just reacted to it. So I feel like we've been playing together long enough to where even if they ban some of our favorite picks, that we got enough depth to still go in there with confidence. So
Yeah, that's
it was
good.
good.
It's very and we'll talk about game two in a little bit. But besides that, yeah, I mentioned once you get Vala, you level 20 Vala, just Vala almost doubled the damage than any other DPS. So very much was key. I did mention during the game that I don't think I ever had a game where the second objective wasn't secured before or after 20, and this one actually happened. So we only had two objectives, right, the whole match pretty much, and one was at level 20. All right, so moving on to game number two. This time again it was, well, yeah, both times was HLS picking map, and so Tomb, I think Cursed Hollow, I think it's one of the least played. Yeah, there only twice it's been played in Division D. This would have been the third time, and so likely I don't know if you played on this map before, but as far as comfort when it comes to maps, how do you approach when you go to maps that are less played? I should say.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not one of our top maps that we like to play on, but we've been playing together for so many years now that like whatever map we go to, we're gonna at least have a strategy that we're confident in. That one was a little different. We don't always pull out that kind of team comp, but
Yeah,
it's been something we've done in the past, so we thought it was a good time to pull it out, and it all came together. But yeah,
yeah,
no, we're just staying flexible, doing well in the draft, and then just executing. So it was a really good night.
yeah. So is that? Did you know that, if we had like beforehand, like, hey, we're gonna pull out a no range DPS, three bruiser, one tank comp?
Yeah, I mean, we did practice it before tonight, so it wasn't like us just screwing
Okay.
around. It's something that we're willing to pit in against, like if we go to playoffs, it's not something that's out of the question for sure. And then there's only a few maps that we would even do it on. So
Yeah.
Cursed Hollow is one of those maps where it could work, and it worked for tonight.
Yeah, I think I've seen usually the double bruiser tank, but then I had to do a double take because I was like, oh, okay, they would the bruiser tank on this on Curse, and I've seen that quite a few times, but I've never seen the third bruiser and tank, and so that was interesting. And so thanks for showing us that. That I haven't seen that happen, and I can't remember, specifically in that map, and so with that particular map, then the idea is you go to your lanes, and so I will say, as far as your positioning, your team did a really good job of hiding in the little corners that a lot of people don't forget are there, right? So good job on your part and your team being able to kind of take advantage of those little nooks and crannies that a lot of people usually ignore, and so very good job on that part. I think for the most part you were doing fine. What do you think? There was a sequence. Was there any like sequence or any moment in the match that you thought like was swinging the momentum back in your favor? Because I think they were doing pretty well up until about, I think, level 15 or 16, I believe. And then
Yeah, well, I know we stole that camp early game before the first objective, which gave us a huge confidence boost. But we hid in one of the nooks and crannies, like you were saying, and we hopped out and we got smashed. So that kind of brought us back down to reality, and then gave them control for a little bit. But we just went back to what we were doing and looked for those opportunities and then capitalized on them. So yeah, we had a great start with the stealing the bruiser camp, but then we snapped right back to reality after we took a hit, and then we just waited for tens and grouped up and had good team fights.
was there any moment in the match that kind of surprised you? Either like we didn't expect that to happen, or went better than thought.
Oh, I don't know. It's like there's a couple times where they, like as I was looking at the map making the calls, like they four-man ganked and got a kill or something, and I was like, oh shoot, like sorry, we didn't even call that out, teammate. But
Yeah.
as far as us, I mean, we're all melee, we're going ham, and so like we just know, like even if we took a couple steps back, we can just regroup and just dive right in, embrace the chaos in the team fights. And I don't think there was any point where we felt like we were on our heels or anything. It's kind of one of those team comps where you don't play on your heels. Even if you're behind, it just means go for a fight and win it kind of thing. So
Yeah, and
there,
very much you're able to do quite a bit. I did mention that you can build Hogger in a certain ways that you could kind of be like a ranged hero, right? If you go your dynamite build, but you went out just the usual trait build, which is technically the best. So I was curious if you're going to do that, but in the end, I think there was a big boss play at the bottom where Sonya was able to distract them, and it actually led to PVE kills.
oh shoot,
Yeah, that was
that. If I didn't know what was going on. I asked Koala to go check, and then the next thing I know, I think their healer died, and then maybe
yeah.
died.
I think what happened is the tank was trying to ward you off, and then left the boss area, which then meant the boss focused and rooted the healer and then the gray main. So I was like, oh wow, checking the boss actually was big enough a distraction, and I think that kind of, for me myself, I think that's where the momentum really swung in heavily in your favor, right? Getting a pretty much boss top, and then you were able to go down and get the other one. Very much kind of swung it back in your favor.
Yeah, you're right. The call was just to trade bosses, but we wanted the Sonya to peek it to see where they were at, and then the next thing we knew, a couple of them were dying, and then Sonya's leaping in there and causing chaos, and then it gave us enough time to rotate down and fight, and then eventually get that boss. So yeah, that was a huge swing. I thought we were just gonna trade, so I didn't feel like significantly behind, but yeah, that was a pretty big mistake, I guess, on their part, and we just took advantage of it. So
great. Well, with that, that's all the questions I have. And so I'll leave it up to you if you have any shout outs or anything you want to close our cast with.
Well, I mean, good game tonight. There's always It was always fun. Always fun to play in NGS and everything. Thank you for casting. Appreciate Koala. She's like, well, she's family and everything, but she did sub in for tonight because Line Bus couldn't make it. But we'll probably have Line Bus ready to go next week and everything. But nah, thanks for casting. Good game tonight, and appreciate it.
Great, and good luck with the rest of your season, and look forward to potentially casting some more games in the future.
Yeah, for sure. Take care, man.
All right, have a
Appreciate
good one.
You too. Bye.
All right, that was Ghost from Cats on My Keyboard, and that's going to be ending our cast for tonight. Let me double check if there's anyone else I can pass the baton off as far as who else is. I pretty much I think I was like the second to last or last stream or cast, so I imagine there's no other match to be passed off to. But otherwise, with that, thank you very much for. Oh, there might be one with internally blue. Let's see, is your match still going on? It looks like they are still going on. I'm not sure if it's gonna end. Oh yeah, they are definitely going on still. And so I'll be passing you off to internally blue. So if you want to continue watching some NGS action. But besides that, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you next time in the Nexus.